Hello everyone and welcome to Frappes in Frequency, a space for us to slow down, tune in and reflect on the collective pulse, one sip, one shift at a time. So today has already been very interesting. I had recorded a video, however I was on a bit of a time limit and my alarm went off and it closed the video off. So there was about 40 something minutes worth, which I still feel will be shared. But I'm just sitting here recording in case anything else wanted to be said, either different or an extension of the previous message. The whole premise or the core of the previous recording was something of an auspicious nature. And here I am sitting recording this at nighttime while the kids are in the other room asleep. So even that is different. So I'm not quite sure what will come through, but we'll hold space for it nonetheless. But I feel there is definitely some kind of auspicious kind of, I'm even repeating myself, there's an auspicious energy about. Okay, plain and simple, not sure what it means. I do feel that like the energy has shifted today. It just happens to be the 12th of the 12th. And there has been some kind of shift. I just haven't been able to pinpoint it or put my finger on it, but something's different. So yeah, let's get into it and see if any of it makes sense. So it's happening now, and it happened when I recorded it this morning, or this afternoon I should say, when the throat was starting to activate a little bit. It's doing it again now. I'm also quite mindful that I'm not trying to speak too loudly. It does echo in here. My kids are asleep, so I don't want to keep them out of sleep. But yeah, there's something to do with the throat or the throat chakra. Perhaps communication that came through in the previous recording. But let's check in. Let's check in and see what is going on. Is this an extension? Is this a completely separate collective? Okay. 11 might be significant because it's come through now. It came through before. Just gonna make notes. There seems to be a relief of sorts. Message coming out again. Bottom of the deck, we've got past life. And that is pretty significant because here we have relief and karmic path. Relief and karmic path. So there is, I mean, that's pretty clear, right? A relief from a karmic paths don't necessarily have to relate to people. It could mean a situation, for example, a living situation. It could also be in reflection to a job, a place you worked at. It could speak to a completion of sorts, a completion of a experience that had to happen. That was, I mean, I feel like everything does happen for a reason, but this particularly so because of the karmic path. And this might be, you know, some would say, refer to it as like past life karma or vasanas, just things that you had to work out that might have been persistent in a way. So for example, if it is to do with a living situation, and it's interesting because I've not really spoken to that part, like living situations, so this might be a specific kind of reflection. But say for example, you have been moving in with people and then shortly moving out, or things don't work out, or there's some kind of housing or home situation that is like a repetitive, it's manifested as a pattern, whether it be with people that you live with, or like your housemates, or maybe you've moved in with a partner and that didn't work out. So there's something of a repetitive nature, and it feels like this is kind of the culmination of it, this is the end of it. But it might not also have been an easy situation, an easy experience. Karmic paths are seldom fun, right? So it may have felt like a bit of like struggle street, you know what I mean? But it feels like this is the culmination of it. This is currently in the space you're in. This might be like the last time you find yourself in this situation. Perhaps there's been some kind of realization of, oh my God, this is a pattern. I keep doing this thing, or why do I keep doing this thing? And even the awareness itself can highlight to us like the mindset, the mental thoughts, or even the programming around that thing. I hope that makes sense. I want to get another card on this. Okay. Yeah, the same sort of situation. Hold on. These cards, man, they've been shooting up today like a mofo. Okay, this one is significant though. I'll tell you why. So we've got Earth, card 11. We've got Meditate. And the card that shot up was Focus. And the reason that is really significant is because the previous recording today, the main theme was distraction and focus. Being distracted, but then having this subtle frequency of focus. I mean, literally wrote it there. Distraction, focus, 12th of the 12th. And it's here again. So maybe this is a different collective, but same type of vibe. I feel like sometimes we go through things as a collective. That like we're all going through something, a change of something, a shift of sorts. It just manifests differently, like it plays out in a different way. This is saying, this is expressing this need to remain grounded, to remain focused. perhaps meditation will help with that. But this is to stay on course. Because of the position it's in, it's feeling like this is not happening. And it's quite pressing. Like there's 3 cards here that are basically trying to funnel this message or idea of stay the course, stay grounded, stay focused. There are going to be distractions with this culmination energy, this ending of a, either a past life or past, perhaps it's got to do with the past in some way, shape or form. As this is kind of wrapping up, there might be things that pop up, not as a test per se, but this is very, very similar to the reflection of earlier today, where there's these distractions that are happening. It was when I was speaking about it this afternoon, it wasn't in the cards, it was felt, it was physically felt that there was, I wonder if I have that card out, where there was a literal bubble. Oh, there it is. You're in this literal bubble or vortex where everything is going on around you. There's this back and forth energy, all this stuff's going on, and you're just contained within this vortex of sorts. And within that vortex, there's a need to be present with it. Be present with the distractions if they come up. Be present with possible projections from people. Say, for example, you've closed out this housing thing and you're like, you know what, this is not a great situation where you're not bringing out the best in each other. Let's just go our separate ways. You might get projections from that. You might get certain types of reactions or responses, but what is required is to remain in that space of, I've had this realization, I understand the quote-unquote mission, I understand what needs to be done, what action needs to be taken, stay the course. Because sometimes things do get thrown at us. I'm getting like a little, not a devil on the shoulder reference per se, but more like, you do get tempted. There are these temptations. People, the way things work sometimes is that you get this, like, people try to sweeten the deal. Say for example, it is a house situation. People will be like, oh, but I'm doing this and this and this to bring about these kinds of changes, or I'm getting a job so I can pay rent, like that kind of thing. So just be very mindful of these distractions, and they can be so subtle that try to infiltrate when you're on this path of just releasing all the junk, or just releasing these patterns of behavior that full well cannot carry on forward, you cannot move forward with it. We've got the message card here again. Was that number 33? And we've got number 34. So we've got message and knowledge, and that the message card did come out. Not this particular card, it was a different one. I think it was Mercury messages. So this is available to you now. This awareness, these, some might refer to it as downloads. But I just feel like when you're in your own space, when you're going within and you're grounding yourself, you're staying focused, things become clearer, so much more clearer. Like, let's stay on that topic or that example of like a housing situation. That realization may have come through to you, and that made things clearer, right? You're aware that the situation's not working out. This is a possible way that these messages, quote unquote messages, can come through. Sometimes it comes through as knowledge. Sometimes it comes through as someone else prompting you for deeper thought, like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's it like living with that person? Or how are you going to pay your rent if they're not paying their rent? Or, like, I'm just using these as examples, obviously, so you can place it to your own situation. But being in that space of stillness and silence and slowing down, this is what I spoke about earlier, that it just allows for more clarity, it allows for more understanding. You're giving things space. If you're dropping things off too, like letting things fall away, it opens up more, or it invites more in a way that's more aligned. Let's see, what else do we want? I was actually going to use this one. So let me know if that makes sense to you. And, just going back to the feeling of things being different, this is not a little shift. This is a big shift. This is a shake you up, wake you up. Oh my hell, what the heck? And I don't even say those words. Or what the heck I do, but not what the heck. Oh my hell, I don't say that. So this is feeling like a very different embarkment. Like clarity. I think that clarity song is trying to come through. I'll leave it. If it comes through proper, then I'll mention it again. If I had asked for other songs. And it's also raining here. There's another thing that's different, because it hasn't been raining for a while. It's been pretty sunny. I might even keep this video super short because it does feel like an extension of sorts. So we've got Sagittarius Joy. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, we've got South Node Karma. And there's that 34 again. So this is interesting because earlier today, I saw the numbers 34:43 on the time, on the clock. So there's a significance with 33, 34, 43, 11, 23, 13. Threes are significant. Threes are significant. So we've literally got 3 karma cards here, 3 past life type situations. We've got past life, karmic path, and the South Node Karma. It's I was trying to move the cards around, but it's very like, oh no, I'll place that there, no, I'll place it there, no, that's not where it goes. So a bit of shuffling, reshuffling, whatever that is. Yeah, a bit of shuffling. There wasn't any even mental thought, it was just happening. So there might be some shuffling going on that that you're maybe unaware of, because these are majority the cards, the underlying cards. So this might be an unconscious kind of shuffling, maybe a shuffling of thoughts or ideas. But we've got the Sagittarius joy. This is almost the frequency of hanging on for dear life. Like this is an adventure, but it's like grasping at the idea of getting through to the other side, if that makes any sense. The way she's grabbing the mane of the horse's hair here. It's almost like there's an aspect that wants the freedom and wants to move past it, but there's still that little bit of hanging on. You know, because even the other hand looks super awkward. It's like it's out there, but it's like, I don't know. And then we've got Taurus Savor. So this is very true to the be here now, savor the moment, current energy. Taurians are very sense orientated, so they love food, they love smells, they love what they see. They're very sense orientated. So this is about presence and sensuality and engaging with the now. We're staying focused and staying grounded. Now 2 cards came out for the under message and knowledge, and these were relationships, Juno, and Saturn, boundaries. And not, I kid you not, the video before had boundaries in the same spot. So yeah, I do feel like this is an extension of that. So again, it's feeling like being aware of little surprises, little distractions that might pop back in and go, oh, hello, I'm back. Or if not that, you know, your housemate going, oh, you won't believe it, I've got this amazing job and I can pay rent now. Or yeah, we can get another flatmate in and we can all vibe together. I don't know, man. Whatever your situation is, this is just like, be aware of, you know, any boundaries that need to be explicitly expressed in relation to relationships of whatever nature. And I feel like also when you do install these boundaries, that'll tell you enough about the people that you're dealing with, if not yourself, your own kind of inner thinking, inner wavelengths. It'll tell you enough based on their reaction. So if you're putting down a boundary and you have recently been going through this, who isn't ever going through some kind of boundary installation, right? When you're saying something to someone, like putting through your clear boundaries, just noticing how they respond to it is fascinating. It'll tell you a lot. it'll tell you a lot about a person. So just bear that in mind, because this is speaking to relationships, but that could be anything. That could be work related. It could be a housemate. It could be a partner, you know? Okay. What do we want to finish up on? I won't go into the tarot today. I'll just, well, we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Anything else to reflect on? Got, again, number 23, moon emotions. Number 3, patience, yield, and last card is glow. Possibility. What is going on my throat right now? Weird. So, you know, whatever this situation is, maybe of an emotional nature, or it's pulling at your heartstrings somehow, and maybe that's why there's this attachment, because it's like a karmic path, you know, things that are that present as deep attachments. It's not an easy process. It's not fun. Karmic paths are never fun to unravel. Moon emotions. And then we've got yield, patience. So this is just, again, amplifying the need to be still and to savor moments, to savor the now. Patience, focus. It feels very like aligned energy. Because this is the part that is the challenging thing here, is to be in the moment, like be in the now. This is what is presenting as a bit of a challenge. Like the need to stay focused, the need to ground your energy, the need to perhaps meditate, whatever that looks like for you. It's still sitting in stillness, to savor, to have patience. It's all feeling very much a whole kind of vibe. And the possibilities. You have the world at your feet. You literally have the knowledge card here. That's not to say knowledge of, you know, like attaining knowledge, learning new stuff. It could, doesn't necessarily mean that. Could also mean stepping into the unknown, like trusting the way ahead. Because when I look at this book, it's empty, right? So what where does that knowledge come from? What is this book about? It's self-knowledge, it's self. And when you're in the space of being grounded, you're in self-attention. What comes from that space is knowledge when you need it. It's feeling like, okay, I've got that visual of, I'm getting the reference of Harry Potter when, which movie was it? Movie. I read the books before I watched the movies. I want to say it's the second, it's Chamber of Secrets. Is that the second one? Yeah. When he's writing in the book and the ink disappears. So he asks a question, the ink disappears, and then he gets an answer, and then the ink disappears. It's kind of like that. It's like information coming out in the moment, and then, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So that might present to some, it might feel like downloads, or just things showing up in a very graceful, spontaneous, I'm waiting for the words to drop in so I can show you what that looks like. Just organic way, smooth, flowy. And you're like, eh? Are you for real? Like, it's almost too good to be true. Okay, we will pull some tarot and then leave it there. Hopefully that made sense. Love when the pop culture references come in. All we don't have yet is a song. Well, I did have a song, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who it's. I think it's Zed Clarity, but I'm not pushing for that because it's not. I'm not hearing it. I'm just hearing the words clarity. Might even be a different song altogether. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So I'm getting the same, I'm getting actually the same cards I got earlier today, except it's showing up in the upright. So we've got the Fool, trust the process. We've got the Strength card, Leo energy, Eight of Swords, Page of Wands, and the Empress. Being very mindful of self-inflicted or mental gymnastics around whatever is happening here. There is a lot of, and this came out earlier today, there is a lot of new energy, fertile energy, creativity, birthing of something. Wands do speak of, yeah, that creative aspect, the drive, determination. This is feeling like you're at the beginning of something. Maybe you are learning something. Maybe you're learning something new, if not a skill or a creative modality. You could be learning more about yourself and how you interact with the world. We literally have the world here twice, you know. Maybe you're learning more about how to unbind yourself and have more strength and to lean into the unknown, to do it with confidence and assurance. because the Empress card is very, very potent energy, as is the Page of Wands, but it's feeling very new. Yeah, the Empress is in traditional tarot is depicted as usually, you know, and in this card, a pregnant woman. So there's definitely some new energy, I'm hearing field of awareness that is presenting itself or will present itself. Burst of creativity. Could even be trying new things. Like I said, in this grounded space, you might have all these new ideas like, oh, wow, okay, I can't believe I dealt with that for so long when it could have been like this. Interesting. Okay, I did say I was going to finish on that. Let's do one more and leave it at that. I swear. Just one more. But I mean, this is great. This is fantastic. You're letting go of things that don't resonate. And for some, it might be a forced resignation. You know, like, it's just like, far out, man. I just cannot do this anymore. And then in that process, when you're like, you know what? No. Putting down the boundaries. No. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to start listening to my intuition. And with that, making a decision that kind of feels difficult, but when you actually make that decision, it's like, oh, why didn't I do that before? Why was I in struggle setting you for so long? It could have been so easy. This could have been different for so long. But also don't get caught up in that as well, you know? Because things were going to happen the way they were going to happen. There's no way you could have predicted or controlled it. No way. It was going to happen this way when it happened. So whenever you come across this video, that's when it's, you know, time to start thinking about what it is that you're all holding on to a little bit too tightly. I just want one card, and I keep getting these multiples. Just one. No. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to do a... Okay. 1, 2. Yep, the pilgrim, you're on a journey. You are on some type of journey. It might be spiritual, might be otherwise, the threshold. There's definitely something about the number 3. This is happening quite a bit where multiple cards are coming out. The last card is the dead end if you're listening to this on the podcast. Yeah, there's an ending. There is a halt. No more. You're crossing a threshold. You're finally going through to the other side. And you've been on this journey for a little bit. But it's time now. It's time to cross that threshold. It's time to leave the past in the past. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here again. Not sure the sequence of how these videos are going to be posted, but anyway, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video.